Oh, shit, that's good. Hello, Vine community. I'm back to do a recent Vine Finds video. And I did one yesterday. This is the I wrote Grail up here because I want people to see this. You won't see this if I don't write Grail. But there's kind of a Grail, and I put that in the end of this movie so you see everything, because I want you to see. I want the number here down here to go up, and subscribers down here to down here to increase. That's why I'm doing these videos. That's who I am. I try to do this like 4 times, and it gets fucked every time. So I'll start again, and I'm doing it reverse now because I've already done the... So okay, I got a new amplifier. I'm super happy, and it sounds really good. It's this one. It's called Cajun CS88A. It's a tube amplifier and it sounds fantastic. Now this is silver, but I actually got a black version upstairs because the store, or the general agent who sells it to the stores, he lent me his demo version that he uses to go around in hi-fi shows and stuff like that. Because mine is being made in Germany. The parts are coming from China, obviously, but it's handmade in Germany, and they're building it right now as we speak. So I'll get it hopefully before this year ends. We'll see. But I'm playing with this one now, and it sounds freaking insanely good. I'm super happy, and I played some stuff. Let's see if we have the time to show you what I've played, but the finds first, okay? So I made a trade with Kristoffer Pettersson. He's here on YouTube also. Check him out. It started off with Kristoffer posting a picture on Instagram, and it looked like this. And I wrote to him and said, "Oh shit, that's a want lister for me. I'm so envious of you that you have that, and I've been looking for that for so long, but I don't see it in stores," and blah blah blah. And he said, I got a spare copy, because he had a promo copy of it. And I said, shit, let's trade. So we ended up trading a lot of records. This one, it's I think it's a second press on AM Records. Magma, fantastic French prog, classic stuff. But I also traded this with him, Moby Grape's first record with Skip Spence and the famous Fudge U. This is a Sun-dazed reissue in mono with poster included. And after the trade, I actually read that they withdraw this version because there were legal battles, something like that. So Sun-dazed wasn't allowed to reissue it or something like that. Sounds good. Music is fantastic. Garage Psych. Let's put a label on it. Everything has to have a label. This also a want list item that I can tick off now. Aquaturbia, a band from Chile, which released at least 2 records. The first 2 is the ones that I have been after. Original presses, obviously. This is a reissue. But when it comes to my want list items, I always, on Discogs, I save the original. Like, I'm looking for the original. But some pieces are really expensive and hard to find. So when I find the reissue in store, I grab it if I know that it sounds good. And with this, I know it sounded good. This is fantastic. Like Psych from Chile. They do some covers on here. Janis Joplin one. Fantastic. 1970 something. Check it out. Art Blakey and African Beat by Art Blakey and the Afro Drum Ensemble. Issued in the 60s. Yeah, with a black, dark blue label. Also really good. This is it's very percussion based, and I read that Art Blakey himself thought that this was the most interesting record he ever did. And I guess that he really explored the drum, like as an ensemble, the drum. And being a drummer, I guess that's really cool. Is it the best Art Blakey record I've ever heard? No, but it's Really good. And this, I was super happy that Christopher had a spare copy of this, because I've been looking for this for so long. And yes, I could buy this from Discogs, and I could buy it from eBay, you know, but I've been looking for it in a store. And every time I've seen it, which isn't that often, they are too expensive. In my opinion, they have been too expensive. And when I got outbid on Swedish eBay, I got mad, and you know, because everyone has their limit. I mean, and I won't buy overpriced records. That's not my thing. So when Christopher had this, I was super glad. It's a second press. So damn happy to have this. This is a monster, like a essential rock record, psych record. Really great. And he included this as a gift, because he's a sweetheart, and we love Christopher. We love him. We love him. The Orient Express. Also a want lister. This is an unofficial reissue that he gave me for free. He's the best. And it sounds pretty good also. Reminds me a lot of Don Cherry's like time in Sweden, where he did like collaboration between Swedish musicians and Turkish musicians, like this kind of world fusion. Really, really good. Thank you so much, Christopher. He actually sent me another record, but he said that it's warped, and it was unplayable, unfortunately. Back to back with Miles Davis and Art Blakey, which was a pity. But I'm really after that record now. It's a 2 for 1. You know the deal if you know the record. Okay, moving on. My finds. Robin Williamson, Myr. Robin Williamson was a part of the Incredible String Band. 1972, he made his first solo debut record on Island Records. And it's this. It sounds like a Incredible String Band kind of record, and if that's your thing, you will love this. Folk all the way. Really good. One I've been after for so long. I've actually had an original of this, but I sold it because it was like unplayable, total beat. I sold it to a store actually, and got some good credits for it, but I couldn't play it on my system. And he wanted to play it, so that's fine with him. The one I'm talking about is Tages Studio. And when I started to look for this, maybe 7 years ago, this was $50. And then it was $60, then $70, then $90, then over $100, and it just kept climbing, so I couldn't buy it. Then they reissued this in 2012, maybe 13, something like that, and it started to slowly go down. And now I found almost like BG+++ copy of this for $50. So back where we started. So some good things with reissues now. This is the best, one of the best, like top 10 Swedish records of all time. It's Tages doing Sgt. Pepper. Going into the studio, dropping down solid tunes all the way. Like not a bad tune on this. All are singles, like single material. And exploring the studio in 1967. I've said it before, I said it again. Do yourself a favor and check this out. You won't be sorry if you like Sgt. Pepper, Odyssey and Oracles, Her Satanic Majesty's Request. You know, those classic records from that time period. This is as good and even better in some cases. Check it out. Okay, Cold Cuts. This is not an original because I can't afford one, and it's not that good. Like, it's not a $3,000 good, but it's awesome. And I bought the 2018 reissue. Sounds really good on Swordfish. It's like that. This is Nicholas Greenwood. He was part of Crazy World of Arthur Brown and did one solo record, and it's this one. And it's the most lovely cover you have ever seen. It's fantastic. Check it out. Psych. 2 more to go, and I'm ending this with the Grail. Okay, So I got the reissue of Bleak House by Terje Rypdal from 1968, and this is a monster jazz record, like jazz fusion, more rock, jazz rock than his ECM stuff that he did later on. I've never heard Terje play as good as this record. I haven't heard everything, but of the stuff I've heard, Bleak House is up there. And the original pressings of this is really expensive, but a Norwegian reissue label put that out, and it sounds terrific. In 2017, I think it was. And they start to go up in price, those reissues, and I had a store pretty locally, and I asked if they could get a hold of one, so they did. I'm happy with that. So now the Grail. The reason why I write this up here, so you click on the video. I'm gonna be so disappointed. I actually had to trade for with a pretty expensive prog record, Swedish prog record that I had. But in my opinion, it was worth it. They are equal in value, like money-wise, I should say. Yeah, so it was a good trade in both ways. But the record I traded was Tussilago och Fanfara by Anna Själv Tredje, which is a rare Swedish prog record. But in my opinion, it's a little bit too ambient in the... It's like a krautrock record, but almost like Tangerine Dream rip-off, where they really do minimal stuff. Okay, so I traded that with this Ashra Temple on Ore Records. Look at that. Shit, it's beautiful. Yeah. Backside. Fantastic condition. So yeah, on Ore Records, looks like that. So not easy to find. And if you know your Ashra Temple pressings, you know that the first pressing had 5 digits on the spine and 5 digits on the label. The second pressing had 5 digits on the spine and 6 digits on the label. And the third pressing have 6 digits on the spine and 6 digits on the label. And now the fourth pressing has 6, 6 and a matrix stamp that's a little bit other than the other 3. Okay, so this is the third pressing. But they all came out pretty quickly after one another, between 1971 and 72, and they all are yeah, pretty hard to get a hold of. So yeah, a fantastic trade. This is kraut space rock at its finest. Just a juggernaut of sound coming out from the first track. 20-minute long song, starting off very Tangerine Dream-like, and then it just builds and builds and builds and builds. So in the end of it, you feel like you're listening to a almost more spaced out track than anything done by Hawkwind or another space rock record. Klaus Schulze, that you know of Tangerine Dream, plays drums on this, and he later moved on to synthesizer, but he's a very good drummer, and he's beating his heart out on this one. So yeah, I'm super happy. That has been on my want list for so long, but it's very expensive. It's hard to get by when it comes to this condition. Because of the cover opening up, and I mean it's even rarer and higher in price. So finding a decent copy of this I didn't think was possible. So when the guy wanted that record and said that he was willing to trade it for this, I didn't hesitate. I really didn't. So a fantastic copy of Ashra Temple. I'm glad. 15 minutes, pretty quick. Should we do the I got like 5 records. Yeah. Okay, you can turn this off now. This is the stuff from my collection that I played to check out the new amplifier, and I started off with this today. I played 50 records in 3 days now. But I started off with this today, Okita Miss, Drummer of Two Worlds from 1974, and this sounded fabulous, just mind-blowingly good, opening up the sound, and you know, if you've heard this, it almost sounds like a modern electronic record. I have no idea how they do these kind of, like, how they get the sound out of it, but it's fantastic. I played some Neil Young from the Archive series, and Massey Hall sounded like shit. You were sitting in the room with Neil, and you could hear like a pin drop, and you actually hear like people coughing and stuff like that. And with the amplifier and the speakers I have now, you really get the sense of being in the room. And the Celador was the same thing, not exactly as good as Massey Hall, but yeah, close enough. Really. Mingus, the Black Saint and the Sinner Lady sounded okay. It's a little later press, not in the best condition, but I want to try those out also, and it also sounded really good. And this shit, the Complete Masters of Love Supreme. I played the entire first side of this, sorry, and it sounded just mind-blowingly good. Yeah, glad I got that. And the last one, Egba, jazz fusion record from Sweden, 1974. Really good fusion record, and I mean the production of this, to start with, it's not the best, but it sounded terrific, like really freaking good. And I played so many records, but I picked like 5, 6, and then I bring it up in the living room where I have my equipment and play them, and then I go down and swap them. You know the deal. So yeah, I think that's it. It's gonna take a while before I do a video on recent finds, I guess, because with this one I'm a little bit short on money right now, and I have a trip, actually a crate digging trip planned to Berlin in February, late February, I think it is. With a friend, we're gonna record hunt in Berlin, so I'm saving up for that. So I have a sack of cash to blow when we're there. So yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.